Hey everybody, it's Yasmin Boland here, ready for my daily moon power message. How you going? So first of all, I want to talk about where I was on the weekend. For those of you who didn't know, I've had a few messages. On Friday, if you didn't catch it, I did what they call a Facebook takeover for Soul and Spirit magazine. And when I was doing that session, I had a card. I got a card from the, my current favourite, apart from my cards, of course, the Crystal Mandala Oracle set from Alana Fairchild. So earlier in the week, I had this card, and then I got it again I had the card when I did it myself in a sort of a private reading that I did for myself, and I was like, oh, okay, gosh, that sounds like it's telling me to take a break. And then I got it again on Friday at the end of the session that I did for Soul and Spirit magazine. Hello, everybody coming on. And I thought, okay, this is really a message. So if you've just done the chanting with me, we just did 20 minutes of chanting to Mahakali. You've already heard this, but bear with me, please. So this is the card that came up. So it came up twice, once in a personal reading for me, and once at the end of the Soul and Spirit session when I said, okay, I'm just going to do a card for everybody who's here, okay? And the card is the Relief and Repair card. Now, it's very interesting because, these cards are quite amazing. It's an interpretation on this card that I've never read in any other oracle deck. And it's not sort of what you expect to read in an oracle deck. And it was actually really, really powerful for me because I've been doing this Kali chanting now for I don't know how long, like 3 or 4 weeks. And, it is super powerful. I can feel things in my life shifting as a result of doing this chanting. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, or those of you who've, I need the back to front version, don't I, for Facebook and Instagram. Hello, Instagram. Hello, Facebook. And hello, SoundCloud. Oh, here it is. Here's the back to front version. So we've been chanting that. Initially, I was chanting it just with friends of mine and including people I actually don't know from the ashram that I go to in India, which is the Sri Narayani Peedam ashram. And then I was given permission at some point to share this with people on Facebook and Instagram, anybody who wants to join us. So if you do want to join us, we're doing it on Zoom. It's a 20-minute chant every morning before I come on here. And you can sign up for that on my Yasmin Boland Facebook events page. I think you just click register and it will invite you every day. I think that's how it works. Anyway, so it's a lot of chanting and it's a lot of spiritual heat, because if you know anything about Mahakali, the goddess Kali, she's the blue goddess, what we sometimes have heard called the scary goddess or the black goddess. And she's extremely powerful and quite hot. She's like spiritual heat. And so this card that came up twice for me last week, once in a personal reading and once in a reading which I said is for all of us, including me, it's the Relief and Repair card. And it says, we bring the blessing of relief and repair. Our warmth and nurturing will restore and rebalance your body, mind, and spirit when the light of spirit burns too brightly. Spiritual light is like the light of the sun. It brings life and joy, but too much can burn. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's so amazing, because I can't say I've been feeling burnt out at all, but I've been feeling such intense energy doing these. And so because I got the card twice last week, the second time being on Friday morning, I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do these sessions on the weekend. I'm just going to take all weekend off. And I can report back and tell you 2 things. One is, it was lovely just hanging out with my family all weekend and not kind of doing this where I don't feel this is work. I feel this is service or savor. It's something I do because I want to help people however I can. That said, it takes some effort and some organization. My husband comes up, he sets up the cameras, I go and get dressed, I put on a bit of makeup, I brush my hair, I put in some earrings. It's kind of like, okay, let's get my what do you call it? The acceptable face of Yasmin Boland on, because I've done a few PJ sessions, but So, you know, there's a slight amount of that. And what I did is I chanted by myself on Saturday and Sunday. Actually, yesterday I chanted in the garden by myself, which was beautiful. So anyway, so that's what I did. And so I encourage you, if you are ever feeling that way, or if you have been feeling that way, and especially if you saw either of the times that we drew those cards, take some time out. I've actually come back now Monday feeling very refreshed. And, you know, I did a lot of reading about mantra over the weekend, so I'm kind of even more inspired than ever. I've managed to connect with someone called Michael Mastro, if any of you have heard of him. He's going to help me with something I'm working on for my Moonology Diary 2022, which is to do with mantra. So I'm certainly staying on the mantra path, but yeah, apparently I needed some time out. And I think, you know what, just as well, you know, every weekend I might just take some time out. Now, what I wanted to say was the flip side of that was yesterday at one point, or the day before, I didn't get out of my pajamas all day. And actually I felt kind of like a bit of a slob. And I thought, I'm actually really glad I'm doing my daily chanting for Kali and then coming on Facebook and Instagram and SoundCloud and doing these, because it's actually giving me a routine to keep me sane so that I'm not just like, you know, slobbing around. And I feel like, you know, whenever the divine urges us to do something, like I was very much urged to do both the Kali mantra chanting I do before this session and this session. I was urged cosmically, strongly to do them. And I kind of did them because initially I was like, oh my God, I can't make a commitment like that. You know, and I said to my husband yesterday, in a way, I think it saved me. You know, because otherwise I don't know how I would have been during this period, but it's given me a reason to get up every day or every weekday now and put my best face forward, put my best foot forward, to put the best me forward, as opposed to, you know, just maybe just sitting on the couch and watching TV and, you know, just doing a bit of work. I mean, it's changed my experience. So little moral of the story could be, whenever you feel pushed by spirit to do something, do it, because you never know what the outcome is going to be. You know, I felt very much pushed to do this, especially the chanting. And, you know, I almost tried to get out of it at one point. And I'm so glad I didn't, because I think it, like I said, it's kind of saved me. And also it's opening up new avenues for me. Just with my reading and who I'm meeting and what I'm learning, which I can then bring to you later. So yeah, you know, is spirit pushing you somewhere? That's the question. And if it is, put it in the comments. I'd love to see it. Okay, so today what I want to talk about astrologically is the fact that the sun has now moved into the sign of Taurus, okay? So that means if you are Aries, the spotlight is now off you, and if you are Taurus, the spotlight is coming onto you. Now, overall, what happens is the sun spends about 1 month in each sign. That's when everyone celebrates their birthday. So we know now, as the sun moves into Taurus, that everybody who's Taurian will be getting their birthday. And if you're Taurus rising, it means you're kind of being very visible to the world now as the sun moves into your first house. But what it also means is, because of the position of Saturn right now, Saturn, as you might know, recently changed signs and is at about 1 degree of Aquarius, okay? 1 degree of Aquarius. So if you happen to know you have any planets around 1 degree of Aquarius, well, Saturn's right on them right now. So if you're suffering, that's why you have to, like, to deal with Saturn, you have to grow up, you have to be resilient, you have to think long term, you have to be honest and true, and you basically have to do what you said you were going to do. That's how to handle Saturn. And today, as the sun moves into Taurus, it's actually preparing to clash with Saturn, because Taurus is an earth sign, and Aquarius, where Saturn is an air sign. So earth clashes with air, okay? Earth clashes with air. So we're going to get a Sun-Saturn clash. It's actually going to take place in about 20 hours from now, before I'm back on here tomorrow. So if you are feeling like someone's bossing you around, if you're feeling frustrated, if the lockdown's getting to you and you're feeling hemmed in, it's a very kind of Saturn thing, very limitation, all about limitations and rules and you know, all restrictions. They're all very Saturn words. So careful if you're feeling like that. In particular, if you're Leo or Taurian or Scorpio or Capricorn or Aquarius, or have any of those signs rising, you're doubly going to feel it. But for all of us, there's a sense where we might feel a bit of cabin fever today. So, you know, one of the whole points of doing astrology is to learn to live consciously, okay? So now is the time to think, if you do start to get feeling like that, be conscious and think, okay, the sun is squaring Saturn, I'm feeling this for a reason. And with Saturn, it's always a question of, what do I need to learn? What do I need to learn? What am I learning? Okay? All right. So I am going to now do the chakra chant, and then I'm going to answer 3 questions. So put your questions in the comments, and I will answer 3 questions using oracle cards, just for the heck of it. So I'm going to do the chakra chant 3 times. If you can, close your eyes. You can put your question in after the chant, because that's when I'm going to see them anyway. So, oh my God, by the way, I learned more about this chakra chant on the weekend, which I'll share with you tomorrow. Hari Om Nam Lam Am Vam Simram Vam Yam Yam Ham Shivaram Swaha Hari Om Nam Lam Am Vam Simram Vam Yam Yam Ham Shivaram Swaha Hari Om Nam Lam Am Vam Simram Vam Yam Yam Ham Shivaram Swaha. Such an amazing chant. I'll tell you why it's amazing tomorrow. But now I'm going to answer 3 questions. Okay, Joanna, let's answer your question. Shall I insist on trying to fix my relationship with my ex? Okay. This is for you, Joanna. Interesting. Okay, so you have got the full moon in Capricorn card, and I'm going to have to ask you to interpret this yourself slightly, because on the one hand, the message is the end of a tough cycle approaches. Now, depending on what's happening with your partner or your ex, either if it's been an extremely difficult relationship, then this card could actually mean the relationship's done and dusted. The end of this tough cycle in your life is here. The end of the tough cycle has happened. Or if you think that this is an inherently very strong, good, and important relationship for you, then it could be that you're coming out of the difficult period you've had with your partner. So the good news is, whatever resonates with you, the end of a tough cycle is approaching, okay? How hard are you willing to work for what you want? This is a card reminding you that effort is required, Okay. I mean, okay, with a love question, this card can be a call to face reality. Whatever situation you're asking about, making a plan will help. If your personal life is troubled, prioritize it. So I hope that will help you, Joanna. You know, sometimes because you know what's going on. Okay? Let's do another one. And by the way, we're headed for the new moon, okay? So wherever you are in your life, now is the time to start thinking about what you want to manifest this coming new moon, okay? What do you want to manifest? I'll be doing a free new moon ceremony over on the Hay House page on New Moon Day at midday UK time. And then you can watch the replay. And by the way, if you are Cancerian rising, we have the Written in the Stars event just for you this new moon. We have had so many signups. We've had more than 100 signups, which is a lot for something that I've just started. And also I thought, is it a bit niche? Do people know their rising signs? Well, if you're Cancerian rising, it's going to happen. We're actually upgrading our software because we want to have as many people as we possibly can. And if you want the information of that, it's at moonmessages.com/written, like written in the stars. moonmessages.com/written. It's also in the description on Facebook. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there. You'll learn about your chart based on your rising sign. We will do some amazingly powerful new moon wishes, and I'll take a look at the year ahead for you based on your personal chart. So it's a bit like actually having a personal reading, but instead of paying hundreds of dollars or pounds, you'll just pay, I think it's $19.99. Yeah, so it's going to be amazing. Let's do another question. Okay. All right, so the more specific the question, the better. Okay, here we go. Rebecca, a card reading on what to do regarding my marriage really is needed. I don't know if I can be myself around him anymore. Okay, so that's tough, Rebecca. I guess it's push coming to shove in the lockdown. So I'm going to use the beautiful Crystal Mandala Oracle deck for your question. Oh, I'm feeling this one actually. Oh, okay. All right, so you have a beautiful card. It's very green and fresh, which actually suggests that the whole thing isn't totally dead. It's the Ascended Master Buddha, and the crystal is Peridot, if you work with crystals. And the card is Wild Compassion. Wild Compassion. Okay, so let's see what they say in this deck. 32. It's funny, I'm always getting cards in the 30s with this deck. It's like I'm going through them all one by one. All right, here we go. 32. Ascended Master, Wild Compassion. We bring you the blessing of wild compassion. What if a restriction now could prepare you to receive greater freedom in the not too distant future, and to be able to appreciate, enjoy, and fully receive that freedom? What if growing pains now would strengthen you to be ready to receive a life-changing opportunity headed your way? What if rest and time to just be at this moment would help you build up your reserves of vital energy for a time in the future when you will be asked to step up, perhaps to lead or use your energy in some way to support many? Wild compassion is at work in your life, and you can trust that it knows what you need and when, and will deliver it with unsurpassed grace. Wild compassion is active in your life when something is a hidden blessing. In some traditions, this is known as obscuring grace. It's something that seems to be undesirable at first, yet in due course reveals itself to actually be something for which you are most grateful. So in fact, I don't know. To me, it sounds like whatever you're going through in your marriage right now, Rebecca, Louise Walsh, it feels like it's an obscured blessing, a hidden blessing. It may well be that there is a reason why this is going on, which will reveal itself later. But to me, it sounds like you need to be as loving and compassionate as you can be. So rather than coming at the marriage from the point of view of, oh, doesn't work for me anymore, this is over, I don't think this is for me anymore. Come at it from the point of view of, okay, whatever is going on in our marriage is wild compassion, and there's a reason for it that I don't understand yet, and I'm going to come at my partner in this marriage with wild compassion. Okay? How's that for an idea? All right. I hope that helps anyway. Oh, look, Emily Kelcher says, the Gemini Rising Written in the Stars workshop was amazing. Highly recommend these. Thank you, Emily. So nice to get positive feedback. Yeah, they are really fun. And again, if you're Cancerian Rising, it's your month this month. It won't come around again for another year. So you can sign up at the description on the Facebook. It's moonmessages.com/written. And then next month it's going to be Leo Rising people. Okay, let's go with Kelly Orchard. Where should my focus be right now? Kelly Orchard, where should my focus be right now? And it's the Goddess cards that are calling me. So remember last time we did the Kali mantra chanting, and guess which card came up? Remember that? It was Kali. It was amazing. Thank you, Kali, for making your presence known. Okay, so where should my focus be right now, Kelly Orchard? This is your card. Oh, you got an leap of faith. A leap of faith. Take a risk and put your heart's true desire into action. Now, let me just say, that does not mean take a risk and go outside and spread coronavirus. It does not mean that. This is a great card. I had this card at a really, really pivotal time in my life, which really helped me. So here we go. Kelly Orchard. Procrastinating about your dreams won't make them go away. Neither will it make them happen. Indecision is the death of the soul's burning passion to improve, grow, and learn. Don't worry about making a wrong decision. Instead, worry about making no decision at all. Take time to pray, meditate, investigate, research, go on nature walks, and make your decision. There you go. So I'm going to end with a card for everybody who's watching this live. If you have a question, now's the time to put it in the comments box. Or write it down on a piece of paper. It's really good to write it down, whether you write it in the comments or you write it on a piece of paper, because then there's no kind of fudging, what you are asking about. Okay. A card for everybody who watches this live or in the replay. Okay, I feel like it's this card. Oh, I like it. I'm getting to know these cards actually, because I bought them last summer. Are you ready for your card? Because if you're here and watching this, it's for you. It's the goddess Isis, the mother goddess, a very powerful goddess, and the Isis crystal. I didn't even know there is an Isis crystal. Might need to Google that. And the message is, she shall always prevail. That's amazing. I love that. So let's have a read about what the book says about that. 51. This is for all of us, okay? Everybody, if you're watching this, this is for you. She shall always prevail. 51. We bring you the empowerment of she shall always prevail. There is something magnificent in the human spirit when one chooses to believe in oneself. Life rallies to strengthen and encourage it. It's the expression of will to live, not from a place of fear, of death, but a brave, divinely defiant boldness that refuses to give up on what matters most. And that's kind of what we're doing here, isn't it? We're getting together every day or every weekday now, every weekday, we're getting together and being divinely defiant and, you know, not letting fear get to us. Touch wood. You have had your share of heartbreak and disappointment. I think that's true for everybody. And yet, rather than bitterness in your heart, you choose love. See what a great community we are? You have your moments of doubt and despair, and yet deep in your heart, you choose to continue on. You have the spirit of the goddess Isis in you. And just like the universal mother expressing herself through the goddess Isis, you too shall prevail. So what a powerful, powerful message for us all today. On that note, I'm going to leave it there, and I will see you back here, same time tomorrow. Lots of love.